Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new episode of the ECO Institute of Technology webinar for the month of May. I'm Victor, and I manage programs and learning for ECO Innovation Center and ECO Institute of Technology. So ECO Institute of Technology is a talent development workforce startup or institute that helps to foster and accelerate tech talent in the tech ecosystem. And we've done that via several programs and boot camps. We've had a couple of training programs for the year 2023, and we've had several trainings as well for the year 2022, 2021, and 2020, which was our year of inception. And it's indeed, a pleasure to always give back to our community with these free episodes of webinars and masterclasses that we host every month. We believe, we are looking at building an ecosystem whereby we have every young people who are able to get in-demand tech skills to be able to, achieve a fulfilling career. And it's indeed, a pleasure to be hosting another episode of the EIT webinar. And believe me, this is going to be different. This promises to be value-filled, insightful as usual. And we're having a very, very interesting topic to discuss for today's webinar. But before I go, I'm just going to share, I would like to share just a few insights around what we'll be discussing today. So today's topic is talking about the future of tech skills, predictions, and trends. The future of tech skills, predictions, and trends. I know many of us, we've heard about tech skill, transitioning into tech, building a career in tech, breaking into the field of tech. But today is quite different from the previous webinars, from the previous sections we've had. This is talking about the future of tech skills, the predictions and trends. And this is very important. Why is this important? This is important because from the predictions and trends you'll be getting today, from the insight you'll be getting today about the future of tech skills, this will better position you as you move on to the journey of acquiring a tech skill. So you are looking at either transitioning into becoming a product manager, or transitioning into becoming a software developer, or becoming a data analyst, or becoming a data scientist. You need to be able to understand what are the trends, what are the predictions, what are those skills that will be in demand, because there are some tech skills which are very relevant today, but might not be relevant in 5 years from now, might not be relevant in 10 years from now. So, looking at the ever-evolving world of technology, the demand for tech skills continues to grow, and that is undisputable. The future holds exciting possibilities and challenges as new technology emerge, industry transforms, and the digital landscape evolves, which covers the introduction and the overview I gave about the future of tech skills. So here we'll be talking about exploring the key insights and forecasts that can help individuals and organizations prepare for what lies ahead. So you as an individual, you as a young professional, you are able to forecast, you are able to see this foresight, and you are able to position yourself and prepare yourself. Aside individual, organization as well need to be able to keep themselves into the future of tech skills, because there are some talents that organizations are currently recruiting which they might not need in 3-5 years from now. And that's what today's topic is centered around. I'm going to bring up our speaker to not give you too much of overview around the topic. I'm bringing in a tech expert, a ecosystem player who has been in the field for decades of years. He's going to come in with his wealth of experience to share with you about the future of tech skills, predictions, and trend. And that's Oladipupo Bolaji. He's a senior program manager at Microsoft. And these are some of the tech players we have in the ecosystem that are always willing to give back to the community, always willing to share from their own wealth of experience, share from their own insights with young people that are either looking at transitioning into the tech career, or young professionals who are looking at amplifying and upskilling or reskilling as a tech enthusiast or tech professionals. And thank you very much. You're welcome on stage, Bolaji Oladipupo.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, thank you. So let's get started. Could you enable me to share screen?
Yeah, just a minute, please. A minute.
Okay. So while we're doing that, I hope all of us are doing great and happy to be here. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Okay, so the introduction has done justice to this slide, the future of tech skills, predictions, and trends. And I'm here to share with all of us my thoughts around the tech space. I have a couple of slides that I will run through, but those slides I will also build on it as we progress. So let's talk a little about me. My name is Oladipupo Bolaji. You can call me Bolaji. I go by that. And currently, my day job is program manager here at Microsoft. And that requires me to be a technical program manager. During the course of this presentation, if you like to understand, what's the difference between a program manager, product manager, technical program manager, data program manager, that's you can always ask that question. But going by the topic, the future of tech, skills and trends. So we are seeing a trend in which people are becoming technical product manager. So in the past, I've been a product manager at FinTech. So I built at Venture Garden Group, if you know VGG. I was a product manager at VGG building, remittance products, building treasury management products, and building products like think of Paystack, Flutterwave, so those kind of fintech products, merchant acquiring, was at eTransact, also did some work at the technology department. I started my career as a software engineer. So I started my career as someone who started typing code. I enjoy typing code, but at some point I transitioned out of typing code to become a project manager, and subsequently I found myself in marketing, and I love doing product work. So that's just about me. So if you understand my landscape of experience, it cuts across development, delivery, product management, and program management. So I think over the couple of years, I've seen technologies rise and fall, skills, new skills in demand, and old skill out of demand. So the way the presentation is going to go is we're going to see what is coming in tech, like areas of tech that are emerging, and we'll discuss skills that we need to be able to have or to leverage to be able to play in that space. So why do we need to do this? So technology is changing, no doubt about that. If you, this time last year, nobody really care about what is generative AI, large language models, ChatGPT, and all the rest. They were they were in existence, but you really can't, it wasn't, pervasive like that. But starting from November last year to tomorrow, a lot of a lot of shift has happened in the industry because of this technology. So understanding these trends will help us to stay ahead in the job market and be able to navigate exciting opportunities. So for example, we now have a role called prompt engineering. So last year, we don't have anything called prompt engineering. But today, we have people who are becoming experts, who are becoming skilled in the area of prompt engineering. So these are people that can write prompts for the AI to do its work. McKinsey did a study of a forecast into 2022 last year. So I took this word cloud is from McKinsey, and they're trying to identify what will be the future of technology. So immersive reality, I work on the team that builds Mesh, which is a immersive experience. And we have next generation computing, cloud development, connectivity, quantum, Web 3.0, edge computing, AI, identity. These are things that we need to begin to put an eye on. It's happening, and more of it will continue to happen. And if this is where the technology is going, then we'll need people to be able to build solutions across this. We need people to be able to do product management around this. We need people to be able to market it. We need people to be able to ensure that we are safe. So people who will be into compliance, people who will be into digital security and all that. So we need to begin to think as to how do I play in one or any of these technologies. So people who will be into compliance, people who will be into okay, I think I'm getting an echo. Okay, so that's fine. So you can also stop me, even though we have a time for question and answer. If there's something that you think you feel you need to get clarification about. So what are the current tech skills that you should be looking at? I've grouped them under these 4 categories: programming, data analysis, cloud computing, and cybersecurity. So today, if you search for job applications, you see that while being a programmer, coding is very lucrative, but there are some programming languages that are more in demand now. So like Python, like if you can write C#, and like if you can do Node.js, for example, so that you use JavaScript across your front end to your back end. Also, we are generating a lot of data. So we need test skills to be able to analyze this data, to be able to do a lot of prediction, work with data. So skills like how to use your Power BI, how to use your data analysis tool, how to use your SQL analysis. All those are very important if you want to go into data analysis. And how do you tell stories using data? Everything is going cloud. So your phone, your system, this platform that we're using to listen for this presentation today, it's also Zoom. What gave Zoom the advantage was that it was cloud first messaging platform. So that was what separates Zoom from the rest then. So a lot of applications will continue to be built in cloud computing, people are moving their workload to the cloud. So you're going to be needing skills like being a cloud advocate. How can you help companies migrate their workload to the cloud? How can you help people who are in cloud to maximize their investment that they've put in the cloud? So that is going to be very important. And today we have people who are cloud advocates. We have people who are cloud engineers. We have people who understand cloud platform, maybe Azure, AWS, or GCP, or whatever cloud it is. So also we have bad guys around, yes. So you've been hearing about fraud, about attack into system, vulnerability of systems. So as we move to a lot of things to cloud, as we automate a lot of things, the bad guys are also there looking and trying to break into the system and cause havoc, malicious attempt at the system. So we need people who can keep the bad guys away. And that is why career in cybersecurity, skills in cybersecurity is a good skill to have. So, and I can tell you that if you're skilled in cybersecurity today, especially in fintech and in the country, you have a role. So fintech, for example, is not just about API. How do we secure the API? How do we prevent the fraud? Also in cloud, also in how do we ensure that we maintain compliance? Are we sure that we are storing secret information, credentials correctly, auditing them? So these are things that cybersecurity guys, they are very on top of their game. So let's now dive into each of some of the areas. Artificial intelligence and machine learning is not new. If you don't know what AI is before now, you've been hearing of ChatGPT, which is a language model that has done great. By show of hands, how many of us on this call have used ChatGPT? Just use the raise button. 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we should do another session on ChatGPT. So thanks for those who raise your hand. You can lower your hand. So I think we should do, or you should, so it's a nice tool. Please, I will encourage you to go use it and to go learn how to use it. I use it a lot to complement whatever I'm doing. And we have like Bing, that is owned by Microsoft. ChatGPT 4 is integrated into it. And I also understand that last week, Google has also updated their own language model. And we now have different versions of GPT. So GPT is a large language model that was trained with the data on the internet. And for the very first time, scientists and developers, they're able to produce a language model that really can do so much with little data. So when you're going into AI development, what skill do you need to have? You need to understand how to develop this AI model. So in AI, you have what is called modeling, and it is those models that you build and you feed the AI with data. So think of a model like an equation, and when you build those models, then you now feed the training data on the algorithm. And we have different AI. So all of us will be consuming AI. So when you go to Amazon, or you go to Google, or you go to your TikTok or your Instagram, and you see recommendations. So it's a type of algorithm. So think of you being able to use, maybe you are in retail, you are in education, you are even in your office, attendance list. You can collect those information And if you have that skill, you can feed it in, you can write an AI model and feed in your attendance report or your HR data in the office with it. And with that, you can model and predict. For example, you can predict that, oh, so at a particular point in time, this staff would likely call in sick. Oh, so, and because of that, if that person is a key staff, you can begin to, mitigate against it. You can also use AI for in the organization so that people can find information very fast and very quick. These AIs, we need people to develop algorithms, especially to solve African problems. So some of these AIs that we have biases with is because the data they were trained with, they were data from Europe, from America. So how do we get data out, and how do we train AI to be able to understand our local peculiarities? So that's some skills that we will need people to be able to pick up, understand AI, and domesticate AI for Africa and in Africa for Africans. IoT is not new, but what is new is that we'll still continue to need skills to be able to program these IoT devices. For me personally, I started the journey of programming IoT devices, I would say last month. There was an hackathon that was done in the office, and I got access to Arduino, and you can also use Raspberry Pi to do that. So when you go into Internet of Things, you can either go through the hardware integration part. So you could be an hardware guy, the guy that knows how to, one of the challenge in IoT is that these equipment are disparate. So the one that is controlling your weather, the one that is controlling your TV, the one that is controlling your washroom and all that, people buy those things and sometimes there's nobody to integrate them together to form a whole solution for maybe home automation, for example. And these IoT devices, they generate a lot of data. So you notice one trend that if you are into data analytics, if you're an expert in data, is a skill that even if AI automates some tasks, AI is going to generate data and you're going to need data analysts to be able to do that. Remember also the very first slide talks about cybersecurity. So these smart devices, they are aware of what I can call our secrets. We talk, they pick those signals, they know our door knows our movement, it knows when we will come back from work, which light to switch on and all that. So the data that is passing through these IoT devices, they are personal data, they are confidential data, they are valuable data that needs people to protect them. So when you are into data security, please, we need you because we need to be able to ensure that these devices, as we integrate them, we are not compromising their integrity. I won't talk so much on blockchain, but the good news is that Nigerian government last week approved blockchain. So we now have a blockchain policy in Nigeria, and there's more to blockchain than investment. I've seen people use blockchain more around investments, but there's more to it. We can use that technology, the distributed ledger technology, to solve supply chain management, to solve decentralized applications. So just begin to think beyond movement of money, beyond finance for blockchain, and see what other use cases you can use it for. So it has a potential to revolutionize industry, especially any industry that could benefit from decentralization. We've mentioned cybersecurity and why it's important. If you go online, for example, Google, I know they have a course on cybersecurity that could help you to understand what really is cybersecurity. So cybersecurity goes beyond OAP's top 10 of application security. So application security is a subset of cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is looking at the whole entire industry and landscape end to end, protecting the threats that comes either is from phishing threats, from virus attack threats, from the way we store critical personal identifiable information, from the way we apply compliance. So if you work on a product or a project that is actually global, and this is one area where I think it's making Nigerian solution not to scale, cybersecurity. So we need to pay attention. We need people that will help us to make our applications to be certified globally. So if you are selling your product in Europe, for example, your applications, there are European Union, guidelines that you need to follow. If you are going towards the US, there are guidelines you need to follow, data protection and all that. So if you are somebody that is skilled in this area, even when you are a programmer, the fact that you understand cybersecurity, the issues, things you need to watch out for, the vulnerabilities you need to protect against, is going to help you to have what we call defensive coding. You're able to code better. And if you are a manager, you're able to write policies that could really help your organization. Another interesting slide, here I call it conclusion, is that, so there are some things that are coming. Quantum computing, it's coming, it's just a way for us to, apply that physics side. Edge computing. So edge is when you are moving process closer to processing of data closest to where the data is generated. So think of a traffic light that is collecting traffic signals. So rather than that traffic light sending it to Azure for processing and the response is coming back to make a decision, you make that traffic light very intelligent that it can do a lot of computing work. So that is edge computing. So when you bring computing closer to the point where the data is being generated. So, and today we are going to have proliferation of edge devices. Our smartphone, example of edge devices, all our IoT devices. So skills in being able to manage this will be very important. Robotics and automation, data science, and artificial intelligence. You notice that I'm not mentioning product manager, I'm not mentioning developer, business analyst, and co. So because all those skills, they are relevant, they're important, but you need to tie them into an area. So you pick an area of tech first. So if I'm a product manager, I'll pick an area. So I could be a product manager for IoT. So that means that I want to understand the user's requirements in IoT. I want to understand the business requirements in IoT. I want to be able to define the vision for the next IoT. And so, and if I'm going towards the other part of computing to, you can take all the skills and apply it into it. So this is my last slide, actually, is what's next. The field of IT is evolving. One of my boss mentioned one statement that if in IT, if you stop reading, stop learning things for 6 months, you are a dinosaur, because every 6 months things change. Like in the last 1 year, we don't have anything called ChatGPT, and now it's here. And we are now in the AI race. A lot of things are coming this year. So if you sign up, for example, for Microsoft Build next week, a lot of announcements will be coming, and other industry players will be releasing new things. So you need to stay ahead. You need to embrace opportunities like what Eco Innovation has presented to all of us, continuous learning. And you need to ensure that you engage the communities, you'll be part of it, attend conferences. Thank you for joining this webinar. It's part of ways in which you can expand and learn from others. So this is how you can reach me if you want to connect with me. And I'm open for questions now.
All right. Thank you very much, Oladipupo, Bolaji. Thank you very much for that insightful section. That was, heads on, and even myself, I could, gain a lot of values from your section. But before we go on to questions and answer, I think myself, I have some few interactions and questions I'd like to ask. So the first is, what role do you see soft skills playing in conjunction with technical skills in the future of tech careers? So I think this is very important. Many people look at the technical skill, but with the future of tech skill, now what role do you see soft skills playing in that intersection in conjunction with technical skills? Thank you.
Awesome. We call it soft skill, but it's actually not soft, right? If you look at it, it's actually power skill, right? It's everything. And when we're talking about soft skill, for example, for product manager, Matt Lee said we should have what we call core skill. And what is core skill? Collaboration, organizing, researching, and execution. But for me, I have 4 soft skill or power skill that I think in tech we should all continue to develop. So number 1 is communication. Communication is everything. And in communication, you can divide it into 2. So I divide it into 2, internal and external. For me, what is internal is reading and listening. A lot of us doesn't listen. So you need to read in tech, you need to read, you are going to read API documentation, you are going to read a lot of spec documents, you are going to read manuals, you're going to read a lot. Then you need to listen. You're going to, if you're an engineer, product manager, data analyst, because in tech, you are working with stakeholders, people, you are working with customers, you are working with vendors. They are going to tell you their problem. You need to listen. You don't want to jump ahead of them. So that's why we need to build those skills. And what I call external communications are your writing skill and your presentation skill. These are people skills. Tech can be very vague. So you need to contextualize tech to people. You need to be able to tell stories about it, use analogy, use metaphor, and all that. So that is very important. Second is emotional intelligence. So you need emotional intelligence. Third is negotiation. So you're working with people, you need to be able to negotiate well, how to achieve win-win. So you don't want to achieve win-lose, lose-win, lose-lose. How do I get to win-win? How do I get to a point where I win, you win? And for me, the next one is, I call it project management, but you can call it execution. So, and what is execution? Execution is getting things done. And you either get things done by through people, following up and following through. So those skills of when you get a job, when you assign a task, you can deliver result on it, you can execute. And that's what project management skills, gives you. Because at the end of the day, all your strategy, all your roadmap, all everything need people to execute it. So that's for me the role. So I'll call them power skill. Soft skill plays a great role in your career. And for me, I've identified those 4 of those skills: communication, negotiation, emotional intelligence, and execution.
Okay, yeah, great. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to ask a question, Israel. But before then, I have a question to ask. We're talking about predictions around the future of tech. So I want you to share with us, are there any particular industries or sectors that you predict will have the highest demand of tech skills in the coming years? I think this is something many people want to hear, that, oh, which sector, because on cybersecurity, we talk on AI and automation, we talk on robotics and all of that. So do you think, or do you feel or assume there are particular industries or sectors that will have the highest demand for tech skills in the coming years? Thank you.
One is prompt engineering. So now there are a few people who can call themselves prompt engineers now, because last year we didn't have anything called prompt engineering. We just have it this year. So, and AI is, especially language, LLM, large language model, GPT series, is just still in its infancy, right? A lot of crazy things are coming up, right? So prompt engineering is an area that is, of course, we have Copilot now. We have AI that can help developers to write code and all that. But at this stage, we still need a lot of people who can code. So coding is still not out of fashion. In fact, I have businesses that are suffering because they don't have developers. Nigerian businesses, they keep calling, they don't have developers. That's how in demand the skill is even currently. So coding is still very in demand. And product management, we've not scratched the surface of product management in Nigeria. I tell you, the challenge with product management is that sometimes we need people to be exposed to how products are created, because a lot of people have that head knowledge of product. But I tell you, if you're a very good product manager, and we need you because PMs will define the cost of the product that we're going to build. PMs are people who are at the intersection of customers and engineers. So for me, I think that is given. Cybersecurity professionals, they are not, we don't even have enough now, because for cybersecurity, there are a lot of certifications that you need to take and training. And I understand it could be a little expensive. So that area for me is still like, now. If you do it, you are ready for the taking.
Okay, all right. Thank you for sharing that insight with us. And I can see people on the call, you're hearing some of these in-demand skill coding. So front end, back end, full stack developers, they are really in high demand. And I can relate with what Bolaji shared as regards many businesses still looking for developers. And you see many of these developers, is it that they want to either transition, that's jackbar, because they feel there's no good pay for them in this Nigeria ecosystem or the Nigerian market. And just the few people that we have are not even skilled enough to be able to build products, to be able to code very well. And that's why, if you're looking at some of these in-demand skills that you want to acquire, a course of technology, we have a couple of training programs like product management as a shared. We had our last product management cohort, and believe me, many of these guys, they are currently working on their capstone project at the moment. And with the capstone project, it opened their eyes to the cause of product management. When they were doing it before, doing product strategy, they were doing product roadmaps and all of that, it was looking like, okay. But when they get their hands dirty, because they have to come up with product ideas and they have to go through the whole life cycle of getting the product out to the market, they saw that product management is a really big deal. And, from that, we're able to help build capacity for them, and also help provide internship opportunity for them to, be able to get hands-on experience on whatever skills they've learned at the Core Institute of Technology. He also mentioned cybersecurity, is a top game in the industry. Cybersecurity professionals, I have someone reach out to me from Access Bank telling me they need a compliance officer. I think a digital compliance officer also. And I've been in safe looking for a digital compliance person. I've not been able to see one. And even the ones I've been able to see, they are really not skilled, or they really don't have the experience to do the job. So that's to tell you that when people are saying that there are no jobs, or people are saying in the tech ecosystem, the jobs are quite saturated because there are a lot of people with the tech skill and all of that. There are still some of these in-demand skills that we still don't have talent to fill them. And that's why this section is very important. So to not waste much of our time, I'll just go on to Israel. Israel, you're raising your hand. Can you go on to ask your question?
Ask question for this. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, hello, Israel. Good evening.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to ask a question, because I feel like the question Victor asked was not really well addressed. So that's the question on in the future, how can technical skills, like if someone is a welder, we are not talking about other skills that will be required in every profession, like the numeric skill, the communication skill, and every other skill. Those skills are skills that are required to even get job employment, that are required to strive in any role. But we are looking at the technical skills, like if someone is into welding, if someone is into anything technical. Now, how can we merge this together with soft skills in the future? Yeah, but that's not really my question. So my question is this: there has been recently we've been talking about artificial intelligence. There have been so many artificial intelligence platforms, that has made work very, very easier. And we are looking at, they said about 85 million jobs will be lost through, tech and AI. So I'm looking at this skill in copywriting. Do you think artificial intelligence, because I was having an argument with one of my friends who is a copywriter, do you think artificial intelligence is going to take away the skill of copywriting in the future? Because some companies now don't even need content writers again. They just go to any of the AI tools and they get content. So do you think ChatGPT and other AI platforms, they are going to take away copywriting as a tech skill in the future? Thank you.
Thank you, Israel. So I got a report 2 days ago that folks on Viva and Upwork, their income is dropping because they are not getting requests as they used to get. And why is it so? You've mentioned it. Copywriting is becoming an endangered species because AI can do some of these things better when prompted. And so if you are a copywriter, please transition to be a prompt engineer, right? So if you're a prompt engineer, you'll be able to survive that because you need good prompts for the AI to be able to generate a very great output. So some copywriter, they are going to survive because they will leverage their skill and they will also leverage it with AI. So what is going to happen is that we're going to have a lot of content, and some of this content, they will not be so great. Some will be good and very nice. So, but will it affect copywriting? Yes, it will affect copywriting. Will some copywriters, will it elevate some copywriters? Yes, but they need to upskill and add prompt engineering to their skill. That's when they can ride on the wave of AI. So there are some questions in the chat too. So Victor, let me know when we can look at them.
Yeah, thanks for sorting Israel question. I believe your question has been answered, Israel. I can see Stephen raising his hand. Stephen, would you like to unmute and ask your question? Hi, Stephen. Okay, I think we can't hear Stephen. I'll just go on to read out some of the questions we have in the chat box. So the first is, how relevant is digital marketing today? And what are the prospects for its market relevance in the nearest future? I don't know if Bolaji, you get that.
Yes, I got that. So first of all, how relevant is marketing? Peter Drucker said that there are two roles in the company: innovation and marketing. So with that, you know that digital marketing will continue to be relevant. So it's a skill. Forgive me because I missed that, right? It should be part. I'll go and edit that slide and put it there, right? So marketing will always be relevant. So digital marketing will be relevant in digital economy because we need people. We need to create awareness of all the product that we're creating. So product marketer and all those rest, they are going to be very super relevant. So if you have the skill as digital marketer, please, we need you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much. So yes, clarify the aspect of digital marketing. Many businesses today, they are always in search of a digital marketer, head of marketing, because it's just how you put your product out there as a business. So digital marketing will always be a very relevant skill and in-demand skill in the industry. Thank you for that, Bolaji. We have a question. Shegu, you are currently raising your hand. Would you like to speak now? Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Pardon me. Sorry, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I came in a little bit late, but I love the interactions and the questions coming up. So yeah, I run a tech firm, and of course, we do some on-here conversations around tech trends. And of course, with this little knowledge, I understand the fact that it seems, web development with coding specifically, front-end web development is going into extinction gradually. I mean, front-end web development with programming languages like HTML, CSS, and probably a little bit of JavaScript and the likes. So in my own opinion,
Hello?
I think we lost you.
And maybe the advent of WordPress, Wix, Weebly, and some of these no coding web development platforms would really outshine the relevance of programming for web development in the nearest future, or probably now. That's my question, in your own opinion.
So let me reframe the question because we lost you for some seconds. So are you saying that will no code, low code replace the traditional open your Dreamweaver, open your Visual VS Code, and writing
exactly.
HTML and JavaScript and all that.
Exactly. That's my question.
Yeah. So there's something concept we call citizen developer and Microsoft, right? That use our power platforms. And I'm grateful, I'm excited also that you mentioned some of these low code products too. So we're going to have more people who are going to be able to use those low code devices to do stuff. So if you are a traditional website guy, can you upskill and build a low code platform? Website is going to be very easy to build. You just drag and drop, connect to payments and do all that. So yes, except you are going into application development like enterprise development and co. As time goes on, we would not really be paying 50,000, 100,000 because we want to build websites. People will be able to use low code or no code tools to be able to do that. However, training is also another skill that we miss out, right? But it's very important. All these skills, we need trainers to train people to use them. So if you're in education, for example, and which is one area that I'm passionate about that I want to, if you're in education and you can teach people to use tech tools, your skill will always be relevant because once we have a product, once we have a shift, we need people to train people to adopt that shift. So people who are formerly webmasters, they can pivot to trainer and start training people to use all those low code, no code devices.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much, Bolaji, for that. I don't know, I believe Shegun, Bolaji has been able to give justice to your question. So I can see Sheg's raising his hand. I don't know if you want to ask your question. We have a couple of questions in the chat box, and our time is fast spent. Shegs, can you hear me? If you can hear me, can you please unmute?
Yeah, I can. First, I just want to ask, is there anything that is actually stopping us? Because I was a beneficiary of their scholarship, and I'm kind of like trying to know. Now, I believe one of the things that we could do to gain experience is internship, but trying to get internships has been quite difficult, even after getting the certification from Google. So, what can we do to mitigate that particular problem? Thank you very much.
Internship from where?
Like I've been applying in different organizations for internship, but getting the internship has been quite difficult.
Okay, I get the question now. So currently, globally, tech is also in a little meltdown. So you notice that there was a lot of layoff early this year because of corrections that is happening across. So it's been difficult. I agree to get intent. But what I will tell you, for example, what I know is that, for example, in the next quarter, the outlook is going to improve. There'll be more openings for intern and internship. However, what you can also do is that while it's good to look for those big companies to intern, you can also look for smaller companies, or you can form a group. So I know that a co-innovation, I need to confirm. Maybe they
Yeah,
have an intern group because I know that they used to have like that. Then when you can come around, and if they may not call it internship, it may be a cohort, it may be like a hackathon or something, but it's also an internship in itself. So always look out for that. And you can go to very low companies if you can and tell them that you don't need to even come. You just finish your product management. You love to solve a problem for them, even if it's a weekend, a 1 week. Just help them redefine their strategy, help them check their competition, create some things for them. Once you do that and you can document it, the next time you are looking for a job, you can tell your hiring manager what you've done after your certificate, that, oh, I could not get internship, but my initiative, I went to this company, I identified their problem, I did this, I did that. I was able to give them a strategy that helped them to move from X to Y. So, but I understand that generally it's been difficult, but in the next quarter, things will ease off. So keep in touch.
All right. I also like to come in there. Thank you very much, Bolaji, for the answer to that question. Yeah, so for the aspect of internship, we identified the major issue for many young people that are looking at transition into tech, either to acquire a tech skill or to upskill or reskill. And that's the aspect of getting hands-on internship program. And that's why with Eco Institute of Technology, in partnership with Eco Innovation Center, we've been able to build a pool of partnership with a couple of firms and organizations. So whereby our learners, when they go through a 3-month training program with a capstone project as well, we then do an internship placement for them. That's like a robust value we are providing for young people. We've done our data analyst program, whereby we have a couple of our learners currently doing internship with some of our partner firms. Some might be paid, some might be unpaid. So also we have our product management program. We have a couple of programs, and we even have people that already have background knowledge or background skills, experience in some of these stuff. But because of the internship value that a Quest of Technology provides, we enroll into our program to want to take part of that value of having an internship program to be a part of. So for anyone on the call, those joining us live, if you are willing to get an internship opportunity, you are willing to upskill yourself, and you want a robust package, EIT is here for you. You can sign up via our website. The link is in the chat. Sign up via our website, then we'll reach out to you and also see how we can help you through the journey. We have a couple of questions. Let me see if we can take you. So the other question here is, as a research writer, I have experience with product analysis, forecasting, and sales and marketing strategy.
So I've replied him in the chat that he should talk to you.
Okay. All right. How do I transition to product management? Yeah, if you want to transition, the website is in the chat below. Register, we'll reach out to us. We're gonna take you through our learning journey at Eco Institute of Technology on how you can be a part of our learning program. I think someone is asking a question. I'm looking into transitioning into agile business analyst. Will be of advantage to acquire project management skill in order to increase my value. Also, how can I navigate the BA role to stay relevant in the future? Okay, how can I navigate the BA role? Would you like to take that, Bolaji?
Yes, so in my past life, I used to have BA reports to me, right? BA is an exciting thing, but it's just that as a PM, you can do what BA would do. But outside Nigeria, BA is hot cake, right? If you're in UK, Canada, they have, especially those processed countries. And also BA is also very good if you are not really in tech role, but you are in industry that apply tech. Say for example, you are in insurance, you are in banking. If you're in bank, BA is part of the requirement. So it's BA that will do those business justification. And also if you are in a project-led environment, not product now, project. So a project environment is an environment where the customers has paid for the paid for the project. So, help us build payroll. We have a customer, Eco Innovation. They want to build payroll. That's not a product, it's a project. We are building it bespoke for Eco Innovation. we need a business analyst to go sit down with Victor to do all those things, then before the project manager can come in and estimate and start doing all the work. So BA role is more into the project environment and the non-tech environment, non-tech industry. But if you are coming to a product environment or tech space, then just transition to product manager. Your BA skill is still relevant. You just need to understand all those things Victor was mentioning, strategy, road mapping. So just learn that on top and layer it on top of your BA skill if you are coming to a product environment. Or if you are staying in a project environment, your BA skill is awesome.
Okay, I think I missed one of the participant question, and that's Hussein. So I'm just going to unmute you so you can speak. So can you?
Okay, thank you very much, Victor. Thank you very much, Mr. Bolaji, for the insightful presentation so far. My question is actually there in the chat box. So I said I'm interested in data science. As a matter of fact, I've been on this. My question is the second one. So, so I'm presently learning data analytics, looking at Excel, Power BI, Tableau, and SQL. So afterwards, I'm considering or planning to learn Python and R programming. All this with the end goal of data science, machine learning, and all that. So am I on the right path, please? Thank you.
I replied you in the chat. You are on the right path. And if you have any challenges, a challenge to that, reach out to Victor or reach out to me. And also there's a question about data security, cyber security in the chat. Reach out to Victor too. I'm sure if they don't have any program for data cyber security now, they could plan webinar and things around that and bring experts in that field. And the more you join that session, you can also learn something about it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Our time is fast spent already. Thank you everyone for joining and being a part of this insightful and value-filled section. Even myself, it was a nice outing for me being a part of this section as well. No one is an island of knowledge, and believe me, myself, I've gained quite a lot of value. I've gained some insight today. And I believe many of our participants, those here with us on Zoom and those joining us across all our social media platforms, you've gained a lot of value and insight from this month's webinar. And I really want to appreciate our facilitator, our speaker, Bolaji, for being a part of this section, for sharing with us, the value with us on this call. We really do appreciate, and I'm going to be dropping his LinkedIn profile. So in case you want to connect with him on LinkedIn for any professional or question, I've dropped his LinkedIn profile in the chat box. You can reach out to him. He's an expert. He's a boss. He's an authority in what he does. He's a senior program manager at Microsoft. He has wealth of experience and background as a product manager. If you are looking at transitioning to a product management field, you want to become a product manager, you want to become a program manager, or whichever field, you can reach out to Bolaji, reach out to myself, and it's going to provide insight and value for you. So for Equations of Technology, we are still committed to the vision of upskilling young people and helping to foster and accelerate tech talents in the industry. The web link is in the chat box. Feel free to check the web link if you want to register for all our training programs. So in coming weeks, we are rolling out a lot of training programs, some in partnership with some other tech training firm and some as a standalone program. We want to go transition into becoming a product manager, product design. We're having a certified cybersecurity program coming up very soon. we are looking at having a robust full stack web development training program, full stack, which is going to run for like 5-6 months. And we are having all this boot camp training before we, eventually set out as a proper, as a full institute, whereby we roll out our diploma training programs for people that really want to go into tech. We have a 1-year training program as a tech expert, and then you get a diploma from us. You do your internship and get all those robust learning to be able to position yourself in the industry and become employable. So thank you all for joining. I can see Uzain, I can see Oladipupo, I can see Daniel, Shex, Kristen, Benedict, Omolola, Henry, and we have a lot of people here with us on Zoom. And for those joining us on LinkedIn, you all are welcome. Looking forward to our next webinar. So this is a monthly webinar series. We have, the webinar for this month. We have another one for next month. And on our website, you can have access to our previous webinar recordings as well, where we've invited experts. We've had series of topics, and we've shared a lot of values and insight for young people in the tech landscape. So thank you all for joining, and have a great time. Have a great weekend, and bye.